Hey, did you hear all of that, or was I cutting out?
No, you froze right at like we usually look in the garage.
Yeah, no, because I told him, I said one, I said they need they have to make two, because we give them all, we can give them all the numbers except for the material,
Yeah.
because they either have to choose it or we have to find it or something. But everything else, we can give them the numbers like right then and there, and we need to know if and that way we know if we're moving forward or not. Because I ain't gonna drive around or try to do samples and all this other shit to find out what wood they need to replace the
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
upstairs, and you do all that shit, and I know guys, man, they'll spend 2 weeks trying to get the right wood to match something, and then give the people the numbers, and
And
people will
they'll
freak
go with
out.
somebody else. Yep.
Yeah, because I don't know. I tell everybody, it's like, hey, call up a stair company, call a company who does nothing but stairs, and get a price from them.
Exactly.
That
Exactly.
way, when I give you my price, you're not going to be shocked.
I remember I've had a handful of customers that were just like really should I be doing this level of customer service? Like one
Yeah,
was in Princeton. They were all in New Jersey though. One
yeah.
was in Princeton, and somebody came out and did samples on their floor already, and they're like, we want you to sand another area and put some sand. I said,
Oh,
I'll do all of that if you
oh,
sign the agreement. Like,
yeah.
I'll do all of that, but I'm not doing any of that if
No, it's
this is
like
not my job.
no. If you need samples like that, that's $250. Like,
Yeah,
and
like I
and and
mean,
and I don't even want to do that because like we have an $1,800 minimum and about to bump it up to 2 grand.
yeah, where am I at? 1,500.
Yeah, that's where we were at for a long time, and my daughter and her partner was looking at the numbers, going, "Man, fuck this." Uh, do at least 1,800. And I think my daughter was saying she talked to some lady in Hollywood, uh, and the lady gave her the numbers and all this other shit, and it came out to be like 17, like 60, and my daughter was like, "Oh, it looks like you're going to fall into our minimum, which is $1,800." And the lady's like, "Everybody's got a minimum nowadays. How come everybody's got a minimum?" And my daughter's like, "Because we're a company, we have to make a profit."
Exactly, exactly.
So evidently, she had already been talking to somebody.
I mean, yeah, I shit. And some people are like, and then you go in there and it takes you 2 hours, and it's like, damn,
Yeah,
you
yeah,
know, I
like
I wish I could do this every day.
yeah, and I think I don't know, we got like 5 or 6 big jobs on the books, within the next 3 weeks, and then another one that uh, the dude's supposed to go by tomorrow or the next day and pick up some boards so we can do a sample. It's uh, it's American cherry, and he wants to see what it's going to look like bleached. And
Oh,
we charge, I mean, and we charge like $1.50 a foot to bleach it. Sometimes I think $2, sometimes I think $1. I mean, to me, but for me, the bleaching is the same as water popping, except you buying bleach.
yeah.
It
And I
just
mean,
seems,
certain species, it looks like shit. Like
yeah,
on like Brazilian walnut, man, it looked like shit.
yeah. And I've done it. I've done Brazilian cherry, the walnut, Brazilian walnut, and I even told him, I said,
It froze again. Ah,
I don't have a clue what it's going to look like on. Yeah,
and then like, what do you charge $1.50 per application or?
it looks like I'm moving. Are you moving?
Yeah, yeah, I'm moving. I think I'm moving. Are you so you charge $1.50 per application of bleach, or how does that work? Oh shit. Damn, see if somebody else was on the damn call, we could see if it's me messing up or it's your connection. Oh shit. Man damn. Yeah, I don't know if that's my connection or what. Shit.
Hey, man, I moved it outside. Let's see if that thing works. I'm going to have to go back to freaking the Starlink internet that I had before.
You said the internet you had before?
Yeah, Starlink, because this
Oh yeah.
this shit that we got right now, it doesn't seem to be covering the house the way it should.
How is that Starlink?
Man, it was really good. It's like stupid. When you set it up, you click all the buttons and then you have your phone and you hold your phone up to the sky and it's like catching all these you see all these million freaking satellites and you just move you're moving it like 180 degrees, catching all these freaking satellites, and I guess it
That's
links
crazy.
everything together. I wanted to get it just for the RV when I'm out somewhere. But my buddy has that Tesla truck, and he said that thing is never without internet. It's like a whatever the hell you call it, where people can connect up to it and use it as the like the router or whatever.
So it's like a hotspot.
Yeah, like a huge hotspot.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, but hey man, it looks like it's just gonna be me and you, which is fine, which is good. Freaking Ryan is shit. I gotta talk to him tomorrow. He may have a little bit of health problems, and hopefully it's gonna all be good.
Shit.
Yeah, and then like I don't know, it's like if someone can if someone takes a year to get into their best shape and do it in quarters, meaning 3 months, another 3 months, another 3 months, and another 3 months, 4 quarters in the year, and but just tell yourself that you're going to give yourself a year to get in shape, and just not even like in shape and all this other shit like diets and all this other stuff, but man, if someone gets serious about getting in the best physical shape health wise, I don't know anything that changes a person more than that. I did it in like '99. There was a book years ago written by Bill Phillips, and the book was called Body for Life. But he used to do this challenge. It was like $100,000, and I forgot how long the challenge was, but it was like you took all these pictures and you documented everything, and then submit everything at the end of it. But man, it made a crazy difference, and I was already in okay shape just from years of martial arts. But
yeah,
when you got strict about planning what you were going to eat and what time you were going to eat it, and you sit there and you do that on a Sunday night, and you say, so Monday through Sunday, here's what I'm going to eat, here's what time I'm going to eat, and you plan it all out. Here's the workout I'm going to do. Here's what time I'm going to do the workout. Here's like whether it's on the treadmill or the bench or whatever. It's like it's all planned out. you can plan it out on Sunday for the week, or you can plan it out on the first of the month for the entire month. But then, and that's where I got a lot of the shit that I do now, because we did like for the pre-project plans that I do now, and the post-project plans is all based on that program, or on that. You know, when I did that thing with Body for Life, because it was like you planned everything out way in advance, and so whatever you were going to do workout wise and eating wise on Monday night or Tuesday morning, you wrote down exactly what you did, and then you compared the two. Here's what I planned on doing, and here's what I did, and it made a huge difference. Hey, Big Charlie.
Hey, brother.
I don't know if my computer internet screwed up Doug or if he froze. I'm gonna see if he comes back.
I am sorry I'm late. I just got finished returning calls.
Where
you at?
For work? I had to come outside, see if I get better internet reception.
Oh, I see.
I was telling
and
Doug,
hear you great.
I was telling Doug I'm gonna have to go back to freaking Starlink. The internet that we have now, it seems to be okay, but Starlink was great no matter where I was at in the house.
Well, you haven't had any trouble until now, right?
Like if I go back in my office, it's like too far from the router, and I even have that stupid whatever junction box or whatever the hell they call it. I don't even know what they call it.
That's the price you pay for being in heaven.
Yeah. My puppy's at. Shit, I'm waiting on Doug to get back. We were talking about health and fitness.
What is that?
Health and fitness, or that phone ringing?
Health and fitness. Oh, it's been nonstop.
I guess that's good though, right, brother?
Brother, it is great. Yeah. Thanks to you.
Shit. I was thinking of you today because I was getting out of the pool about 2 hours ago. It was freaking it's like 84 today, and it's supposed to be like 86 tomorrow.
Well, we actually have a normal. Well, actually, we're a little bit above normal now. We were 75, 76 today.
Damn, that's perfect. That's where I like it. I like 74.
Well, I prefer it to be around 65, 70 here for whatever reason. 75, you still start to sweat a little bit here.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, because you guys have the humidity.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I went to FedEx to pick up some copies today that I had printed out, and there was an older couple from Texas, and we started chit-chatting, and I guess they live right outside of Dallas, but I didn't get a chance to ask them if it was McKinley.
Well, there's so many little, I mean, we're not really little anymore, but there's so many little smaller towns, McKinney, Frisco, compared to Dallas.
Yeah. Hey, where does Wood Floor Chuck live?
Chuck's out in Rockwall. That's God's country out by the big lake. It's
I was going to say, you told me a big lake and stuff.
Yeah. The lake that we used to keep our boat at is Lavon. Lavon feeds into Hubbard. So,
okay.
But Hubbard is a much nicer lake than what we have up here.
And why is that? Just not as much traffic, or?
It's for whatever reason, it seems to be better kept. You have a lot of country folks that live near the lake here, and there's a lot more. They've got apartments and houses. That the Corps runs the little lake that we have out at Lake Lavon. So you can't even have a house on the water. But out there, they keep it up nicer because people with expensive homes, homes anywhere from about $500,000 up to $3 million are on the lake. But it's just a much better kept area. Now, if you want to fish, you want to come to my lake.
Yeah.
But they'll open the dam once or twice a year, and all those fish bunch up by the dam. And as soon as they do, that's the water that's going to drop and go down to Chuck's Lake. So we'll get down there just below the dam, and you can almost catch crappie in a bucket.
Wow. Yeah. Man, I can't remember the last time I was catching crappie.
It's
and brim. When I mentioned brim to some people, it's like if they're from the South when I mention brim, and they know what I'm talking about.
Right, brim or sunfish. Yep.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's crazy. Man. shit, I don't know. Like, I think remember I sent you a couple of texts and stuff. Like, I was chatting. I've been chatting with ChatGPT a lot, like just having full on conversations about should I try to stop? Should I not completely stop, but like don't focus on the friggin' construction trades because it's just like friggin' pulling teeth and trying to force feed these guys to try to do better to where other industries, other businesses know that they're a business. It's like, and when 5 years ago, when I wrote that book, you know, for contractors only, you mastered your trade, master your business and stuff. I really didn't want to because I had been so frustrated with construction, you know, business owners or wannabe business owners for over 25 years. Because like in the, I don't know, early 90s when I started doing pretty good, all my buddies and other guys and other trades, you know, we would talk and, you know, happy hour and stuff. And I was like, man, do this, this, and this. And like, and everybody said they wanted help. And then, you know, none of them did anything. So I knew over, you know, from 20 years of you know, growing up with construction guys, I knew how hard it was to get through to them. They're like cavemen or something. And I don't know what it is. It's like, you know, you learn how to work with your hands. So I think it's almost like you don't want to work with your head, or like you don't know if you can, or I don't know what it is. It's like, it's frustrating as hell.
Well, some are like me though. When you sent me that, what ChatGPT had replied to you or responded to you, that was me in a nutshell. Which I think so many of us, especially in the wood floor industry, which we're not always the brightest, best in the brightest, but it works all across construction. But most of these guys, I don't think that your thing is you show people how to scale a business, and I just don't think most people in construction want to do that. You're trying to get one out of, or well, what you're actually getting is about one out of every 10,000 guys. That most guys just, they like me. I wanted to keep it small. At one time, I had 16 guys working for me. I was never more miserable in my life.
Yeah.
But you know, but I didn't do it like you teach, where hire somebody in the office and then you have somebody go out and do the
if you're trying to manage if you're trying to manage and oversee 16 people by yourself, I mean, you'll pull your hair out or end up in jail killing somebody.
It's missing.
Yeah, because my God, it gets crazy and that's why like this last year and a half, and I've been researching that dude Tommy Mello with A1 Garage. I'm like, man, it's like good for him, you know, for listening to the people. You know, he paid the money and did what the people said, and he's accomplished what anybody, and you don't have to do what he's done, like, you know, hundreds of millions of dollars, but it's like, man, look at just freaking garage doors. Who would think that you could do that with garage doors?
Well, you know, he reminds me. I had ran across him before.
Oh, really?
You had mentioned him. He reminds me a lot. I was telling somebody else, and I can't remember who I was talking to, but he reminds me a lot of the guy that was in California, and I think it was called Z. It was just the letter Z. Z-Best Carpet Cleaning. You need to look him up. I can't think of his name, but he wound up getting himself in trouble. But he preached some of the same things to the guys that he was bringing into his carpet business, that like what Tommy preaches to all of his garage door guys.
Yeah, and then
very similar.
Are you sure it was Z-Best Carpet? It may have been, because I remember the carpet company, because I think the dude ended up going to jail.
He went to prison. He's out now.
It's funny you said that,
the FBI.
Because when I watched Tommy's videos and when I read you know, both of his books, that guy that you just mentioned always comes to mind. I'm like, and to where I'm like, shit. But out here we got Zero Res, and I guess they're nationwide now, maybe worldwide, and a handful of other ones. You know, and I don't know. There's like, it's running a business is different than doing the trade. And the problem with trying to help construction guys is they have no motivation to even not do the trade. I mean, they don't have any motivation to do the business part. All they want, like that chat thing that I sent you. I don't think I sent it to you, Doug. I sent it to
What's up, Dougie?
What's going on, Lee? How are you, sir?
I'm all right.
That's good, man. That's good.
I got so many
staying
damn
busy?
screenshots.
I'm trying. I'm trying to figure it out, y'all. That's what I'm trying to do.
Brian's got
I'm trying to stay. I'm trying to work like Brian. Brian said he works 10 hours a week. I'm trying to do that, man.
shit. He stays on my ass 10 hours a week.
Yeah. Where's that damn? I should have it. Damn it.
Shit, Charlie. I mean, you should be up there. You should be more of a.
Because I asked ChatBT, is everybody froze or just Doug?
I think Doug. I see Doug's.
Oh, okay. So
he's completely froze up now.
that makes me feel a little bit better. I thought it was me.
Doug, if you can hear us, you're froze up. Oh, there you are. Wave your hand. There it goes. Okay. Yeah, whatever you said, we completely lost you. You froze up. You froze up again.
I started talking. Like talking. I shut up.
Yeah, like because I was having a conversation with the ChatGPT about if I should continue to even help contractors and or should I just move on, block them all, and work with business owners. Shit, he's gone now. I just found that freaking screenshot that I sent you. It says many of them want to just see themselves as craftsmen rather than entrepreneurs, and they prioritize a steady work over business growth.
Well, I think it's like me. I consider those almost interchangeable.
Yeah.
And I think that's the way most people's mindsets are. You have to have somebody. I mean, you got Doug going, and I guess JB to where I guess because they've been hiring people, right? Ryan.
Yeah, Ryan. Yeah. Ryan was going to be here tonight, but he's got some health issues that we're going to get on the phone tomorrow and talk about, like blood clot shit.
Damn.
Yeah.
Well, Brian or Ryan's a young man, right?
Yeah, that's what and that was his text to me. He goes, "I'm too fucking young to be having this kind of shit."
Well, hopefully that'll be a simple fix.
Yeah, I hope so.
But no, I just what was the last part you read? That
I just closed it now.
Okay. Well, but anyway, my point was that described me to a T.
Yeah,
I feel like I'm a craftsman. I don't really, not as much as I used to be because I used to do all sorts of designs, kind of like Marzalek and them do now.
Yeah.
Except my goal once I started having so much business doing the maintenance, I wanted to slow down. I didn't not slow down necessarily, but I wanted the work to be easier. So that's why once I realized I could make as much money in a year cleaning floors.
Yeah. Because
back then, when I first started doing the maintenance, it was 80% paste, wax, and polishing because that was back in the 90s and stuff. But now it's
showing your age.
Yeah. What's that?
You're showing your age, Charlie.
Yeah.
I know it. You have no idea,
man. Because we used to use that Duracell paste wax, and man, when you finished buffing your way out of the room, it looked like a friggin' brand new penny. Man, was it ever pretty!
It does. All these guys are pushing all these hard wax oils and stuff now. I don't know how you feel about them, but I've had people that they're starting to show wear so fast because some of these were old clients of mine that were talked into that hard wax stuff.
Yeah, I got a bunch of them that we refinished because of that.
And now I have to go in. They want me to come back and just start waxing them, and they look fantastic after the wax. I want them, and I don't really completely want it. It's not that I don't want to do it. I don't know that it necessarily should be done, but not a soul has said a word about the look and the wear because now they're walking through the wax just like they were before.
Yeah.
Instead of now they're walking through the oil if they weren't putting any wax on it. But they've fallen in love with the look of the wax over the oil.
Yeah.
I know these hard liner guys would be screaming,
and like you was like
do that or you shouldn't do that. Well, there's absolutely nothing wrong with applying a wax coat on top of something.
No, one of the guys that I started with, he's freaking 84 now, but his granddad was doing hardwood floors in Beverly Hills in like 1908 and shit. They've been doing them forever, but that was his whole thing. We would stain it. He would do one coat of the Duracell Quick Dry, and then Duracell Wax. You know, and then that was like you said, and that was a customer for life to go back and wax it every year. We do the what is it, Renovator?
Yeah.
What's that? Is it Renovator? Is that what it's called?
There's Renovator if you want to strip it off, but
Yeah, to strip it, because
you don't.
that's what he would do.
Always have. I think I've only done about 10 of those the whole time I've been doing this. Most of the time, you can just re-wax it. If I want to clean it and reactivate it a little bit, I'll tack it really well with mineral spirits.
Yeah, and I think that's like after he had waxed it, 3 or 4 times over a year or two or something, because he'd try to wax it every 6 months or at least once a year if it didn't get a lot of traffic. But after about three times of waxing it, he'd go in and we'd strip it all down, steel wool and friggin' the Renovator, clean it all the way up, and then put all new wax on it. I mean, just you're talking the big house bales of steel wool that we'd roll out and start spinning. Yeah, and we'd make our own freaking.
That's some old floor man stuff right there.
Yeah, somebody said, "Hey, man, they sell that shit already made." I was like, "What?"
Well, now they have the pads. You can buy the pads now.
Yeah, that's what it's like. And then,
back then, we'd roll that shit, cut your fingers off.
You sit there and spin it all like crazy, and then roll it up inside of itself. And shit, we've cleaned floors with fucking gasoline, and I've hit the outlet and spark, and the shit catch on fire. Everything. But like you were saying, it's like I've spent years doing everything. Freaking borders and a lot of hand distressing for a long time, and custom floors in Beverly Hills, mimicking castles and herringbones and then patterns and all this other shit. And at the end of the day, there was never any there was very little profit. And I was like, fuck this. I make way more money sanding and finishing a job natural. And that's all I wanted to do. And everybody else was like, all they wanted to do was like, because, Dave Marzak was from out here, and he always wanted to enter into the competitions, and, we'd be at surfaces every year. And I didn't care anything about National Wood Flooring Association, but that was his big thing, is he got floor of the year. And I was like, that motherfucker didn't. I said, that's not even a floor he fucking did. That floor's in his fucking garage. So I never liked them way back then, because they were letting people. I'm like, no, motherfucker, if you didn't make a profit and do it in someone's house for for a business, then what fucking good is it? Anybody can fucking, like that stupid ass floor that what's his name has out in San Antonio, or not San Antonio, Texas, but what's his name? I blocked his ass. I don't even know what his fucking name is. But he's got one of those awards. And it's in his showroom. Yeah, it's in his fucking. Yeah, Matt Garcia. Yeah, and the floor is in his fucking showroom at his office. I'm like, that fucking that don't count to me.
Yeah. One of my floors was in Texas Monthly Magazine, but they didn't use it was my floor, but only the architect and the designer that drew it up got credit for it. Yeah, so I don't give two shit, and I made a lot of money on it.
Yeah,
I could have made just as much money installing shorts in 1,000 square foot house. I mean, for the amount of time it took, it just.
And that's the award I wanted to see National Wood Flooring Association do, was who made the biggest profit on a job, yes. and I don't care what it fucking looked like, but what customer was happy and who walked away with 20 grand that week in profit.
Those awards are not going to buy me any.
I mean, those guys.
Hello, we lost you, Doug.
Doug's internet is bad as mine.
Hello.
Yeah, there he is. He's coming and going.
This is some bullshit.
You're in slow motion like this.
I see you, but I can't. I don't know if you can hear me.
We can hear you now.
You're not frozen now, but when I first
the only two guys I know that make big money and they're NWFA Floor of the Year winners is Archetypal out of New York, well, Connecticut now, and Lenny Hall. Lenny Hall does some big ticket jobs too.
Yep, there's another guy that he lives outside of Detroit, John Yerema. I don't know if you've ever heard of him, but
yep. He just won last year, I think.
But most of his work is done in New York City or in New York.
And then there's two guys that they sell pre-finished flooring, but the flooring is called Richard Marshall Flooring. Have you heard of it?
No.
They make, I don't know, a couple of $100 million a year probably. I mean, they do houses like, for Madonna, Prince, and they do all custom 1/2 inch walnut, little bevel, dark square pegs. I mean, they do put out a good product, but I worked with them in the freaking, I don't know, like 84, 85 when they were in West Hollywood at the Big Blue Whale, we call it, the design center. And it was Richard is one dude and something Marshall is the other guy. And they combined each other and started working together. They used to be in competition, and years later I seen the product Richard Marshall, and a buddy of mine said, "We know who that is, right?" And then he told me, I didn't have a clue, but they got their own glue. They do and I think they sell that shit worldwide. And it's crazy fucking expensive. Just super high end decorators and interior designers is all they work with. But they've got that little niche or whatever, but it is a decent product. Yeah, it is a decent product.
Well, that's the way
I mean,
feel
shit,
here.
you see, they got them goddamn $10,000 jeans. What's I forget what the hell it's called. Something cross jeans, $10,000. I'm like, man, if these people pay $10,000 for wear jeans, they could pay me $8 for a floor.
Man, I swear to God, I don't
know. Walmart pants that I wear.
Yeah, it kills me that hardwood floor guys don't get it. Especially out here, these houses, like I said, the cheapest piece of shit house is $1 million. I mean, you may be able to get something for $800.
Yeah, it's crazy out there.
It's crazy, but I mean, if you spend 10 grand on a floor, which is cheap as fuck, but it's like the floor is gonna, if it's a decent floor, it's probably gonna outlive whoever the fuck is paying you, and it raises. If you spend 10 grand on the floor, it raises the value of the house 40, 50, 60 grand. I mean, it's and they're walking on it all fucking day. It's the best looking thing. It's the first thing people notice when they walk in. People who flip homes, they know that shit. They want it to look good. They won't spend any money on it, but they want it to look good. So when they're they flipping it, as soon as somebody walks in and they mention, oh, it's got hardwood floors or original hardwood floors, it increases the value instantly. It's the only one underselling the hardwood floor shit is the guys doing it. And that's why I keep throwing that name to like Tommy Mello in a couple of different wood floor groups, saying, man, if this dude can do it with fucking garages, there ain't no reason we can't do it with fucking wood floors. This is ridiculous.
Completely. Well, again, Mello is that one out of 1,000 or 10,000 guys that has had a different vision.
Yeah.
You just it's hard to beat that into people.
Yeah, and he even said he's looking at the fucking HVAC and the plumbers going, how the fuck are they making $1 million a year and I'm not? And so he went and just started, figuring out what the hell they're doing and working with them and paying them and whatever the hell they're doing, and had some dude come in, gave him like $200 grand to help him put all the manuals together and just, and then stuck to it. But he'll tell you too, and that's what I try to get through to these guys is, even now he lives well below his means, and his means are pretty fucking high. But way back then, he didn't. He was just living in the apartment, not spending anything. He didn't get married, doesn't have the kids. That's where all the fucking money goes. And instead of instead of taking any of the money, he put it back into the business. Like I was texting with Doug earlier, is I'm taking a lot of money out of the business right now, but I told Doug, I said, I went from working like 2 or 3 hours a week to now I'm up to like 10 hours a week because I need that extra money for this fucking ranch. And a lot of people look at the money and go, well, we could take more. And I'm like, what the fuck is wrong? I said, you guys have got to get this. This company is the motherfucking golden goose that's laying the golden eggs, and you motherfuckers keep trying to chop off the head. I said, no, we got to feed this motherfucker. Let him keep dropping eggs.
And well, you're going to have to get away from the wood floor. The only ones worse than the wood floor guys trying to get them to upscale their business is fucking carpet guys.
Yeah, there's like
useless.
Man, after that dude Anthony and that other dumbass that's in Texas, whatever the fuck his name is, I blocked them both. Is like I was like, no, fuck that carpet people. And it's not them. It's like, and I don't know, man. Like something is different with me and Doug. And Doug's gonna go, not me, Brian. But at least Doug, you looking for the answers, man. You keep trying shit. I met you like 3 years ago when I was talking shit about people doing fancy floors. I'm like, fuck that. Feed the bank account, not the ego.
I mean, that was my first
Yeah, I think that's the first contact we had.
How much do you get for this?
Yeah. Yeah.
Doug, I can tell you, if you want to
Why the
make
fuck would I?
Yeah.
if you want to make good, consistent money and build you a base, the wood floor maintenance, there's nothing better. The numbers are exponentially higher than what these guys get cleaning carpet. I've got a few clients that have me out monthly, some that have me out quarterly, some every 6 months. The majority are annual clients. And you don't have to give them a discount, but just because they're having it done every 6 months as opposed to once a year, once every 2 years.
And that's the whole thing with the maintenance, is just building up that clientele over 3 to 5 years.
Right.
And when I see these carpet guys in Dust Life Facebook group talking shit about, oh yeah, wood floor guys did this, and I'm like, dude, I don't know. And it may be different because I'm in California and the people I learned from, but I don't know one flooring company that doesn't do maintenance.
If I was in California, I would be a bazillionaire.
Yeah.
I could talk that shit to those people out there. It's just like that little video I sent you on how to do that spray buffing. And I meant to tell you, I forgot to put it in there. When you're telling people what you're doing, just tell them that you're using a product, that it has solvents that will clean because it does. It has solvents in it that will clean and polymers that will shine and help. It'll take away some minor scuffs, or it'll take away scuffs, but it'll take away some scratches. It just fills them in as you're buffing.
Hey,
I would make a fucking killing out there peddling that shit.
Yeah.
There's so much more money there than there is in Dallas.
Oh yeah,
there's a lot of money in Dallas. Don't get me wrong, in Fort Worth.
No, there's a shitload of money in Texas.
In a different mindset. But
well,
guys are always talking about sticking with the refinishing. Oh, you can't make any money doing maintenance. Bullshit.
No, you can send one dude. You can send one dude out to do 3 maintenances in a day.
Right. For every sand job, I've got 100 cleaning jobs.
Yeah.
So,
and that's what I told that's what I told my daughter and her partner and stuff. You know, I've been making them, you know, read through the Tommy Mello books and videos and showing them everything, and they're all like, "Well, shit, this is everything you've been telling us forever." I'm like, "Yeah," I said, "but I've never wanted to do it." I said, "If you guys want to do it, you can make this as big as, I mean, you can go from San Diego out to Palm Springs, back into Malibu, and everything in between. You can do, I mean, there's enough work. You know, you could keep 100 guys busy if you wanted to do that and set it up that way." Hey, Charlie, Doug, can you still hear me?
Yes, sir.
I want to bring this sheet of paper up. I've shared it with a couple of contractors. I put it together like a month ago, but Charlie is probably, I wish he would write something about it, because Charlie, he'll tell you he's not Jewish, but Jewish people come to him for financial advice on how can you save so much fucking money.
See, at least you said it nice. My wife has had a name for me since year 2, and it's Cheap Ass Charlie. See, I'll take Jewish over Cheap Ass Charlie. And I have family members that accuse me of still having the first nickel I ever made somewhere.
And then you may have, but that's what I put this thing together, is like, because I keep telling these guys, is like, dude, it takes money to feed the golden goose. You've got to get that you got to grow the golden goose so it can drop the fucking eggs. Can you see this, Charlie?
I can, yeah.
Yeah, so it's create a personal budget, sit down with the spouse, do all that shit. The moment you start your business, you've heard me say that a billion times. You know, your first employee, pay yourself, let the fucking company get fat, rich, and happy, and stop borrowing from the future. And I wrote this because that's what I did for a long time. Was I'd make $5,000 on a project, and I would have spent $6,000, and I'd have to take $1,000 from the deposit on the job that was getting ready to come up, and that house of cards collapses real quick. And then tracking every penny, then the action plan to try to help them. It's only like 5 sheets, and I don't know how detailed I want to get about it, but it's additional tips. It's the mindset and saving money. Living below your means, cutting out shit that you don't need. Doing the weekly, monthly financial checks in, and if you get an accountability partner, it really fucking helps. And then just tracking all of it. And you guys heard me say it a long time, but like a month ago, I said, man, let me just try to write something out. But man, Charlie, you should do something, because you walk the talk, brother.
Nobody wants to hear from me, because my thing is pay cash for everything.
Yeah.
And I was fortunate. I made enough money early on, but my mother, she threatened to disown me. My dad was telling me I was nuts when I decided to go into business for myself. I'd been working for some other guys, and back then I started out around 17 for one of the companies. By the time I was done, I was making almost 30. And that was back in the early 80s. So I was making a lot of money, but I was putting almost all of it back. But I took everything that I had and I bought all of my equipment, but I didn't go buy new buffers, new
That's what Doug does. Doug buys every new tool they put on Facebook.
See, that's where you get in trouble, and that's where that's where a lot of these kids get in trouble. They see all these shiny objects, and they feel like they have to have it. I told you I had that little Super 8 sander. I bought it from guys going out of business. I think I paid $1,800 for a $6,000 machine. Bought a edger that had been used 1 year. Guys going out of business. I paid $200 for that $1,000 edger. So I bought everything on the cheap. I bought a used table saw and chop saw. So I bought everything. I was in business fairly inexpensively, and I bought a truck. I had a truck, but the one I had was a beater, and I knew it wasn't going to get me all over Dallas. So I took everything. Back then, that little truck that I bought a little Mazda. I paid about $10,000 cash for it. So in the end, when I got through buying everything, I had only about, I think, $1,500 left in my name. And everybody was, oh my God, you're going to go under in 6 weeks or whatever.
Yeah.
And my very first job, I made more money. It was a commercial job. Made more money on it than I had made that entire previous year.
Damn.
That was about a 2 week, 2.5 week job.
Yeah, and then it's like, and it's funny you say that because, like, man, the truck that I had was like this piece of shit little 84, 85 Nissan truck. Nissan and Toyota had the little small trucks back then, and one side was almost all freaking Bondo. And it
you couldn't kill those motherfuckers though.
No,
not if you wanted.
And I think I did my first, like when I just tried to do my own thing in the very beginning and start doing my own work. I probably refinished my first 2,500 square feet, and it was probably 300 feet there. 700 was probably the biggest job I did, maybe like 150, 200 feet. But the first 2,500 square feet that I did was a Clark Super 7 that I bought from Home Depot and an old buffer that a buddy of mine gave me. And I refinished. I sanded the whole fucking floor with that stupid ass edger with like little moon spots all in the motherfucker because I really, it's like, God damn. And back then we used to, we would use sanding disc paper and put it on a hard plate and
on the buffer. Yes, hell yeah.
And then we would just what we called hard plate it, and I would spend fucking all day hard plating it, trying to get the fucking edger marks out.
And then screen the shit out of that to get all the.
And then you had to screen the shit.
And then, start with that 80 grit.
And then I took
glass. Yep.
And I think I bought my first Hummer was probably $1,400, and it was probably. I mean, I don't know how old it was, but it worked. I didn't know anything about like putting on a new drum or any of that shit. I just $1,400 seemed like $1 million to me back then. But once you got that, you were kind of set. And I mean, I like those three pieces. No such thing as a fucking vacuum, not at all. Not at all. I think the vacuum thing. Yeah, I think that. Yeah, I mean, you're talking about a 1/4 inch, 1/2 inch of dust on the window sills and the outlets on the plug. I mean, dust was fucking everywhere. I think we started using vacuums in the late 80s when we were doing like the Broadway and Nordstrom's and Macy's, and we'd be in there we used to do a lot of finger block parquet, and we would sand it down. We had to go in there in plastic, and one of the dudes started taping up fucking shop vacs to the equipment, and it worked, and we was like, God damn, we own to something. And we didn't do it to try to make the homeowners think that we were using vacuum equipment. It was just easier for us. One, I just fucking hated that fucking dust. It was every goddamn where. And then the clean up, the breathing it. Man, so we started taping the vacuums, and then a buddy of mine got real smart and took his buffer to some dude over in like City of Industry who welded, he cut a hole in the buffer, welded on the attachment. And then he showed up and told us all come over to his house and have a couple of beers and showed us what he did. And we were all jealous. I was like, God damn, man, that's genius. That's genius. I wish we had started doing it and selling them back then.
Fuck that dust.
Yeah,
I didn't care.
No,
I wouldn't use those vacuums. That just one more cord to move out of my way.
Oh my God, you sound like the old dudes I worked for. That motherfucker wouldn't use a compressor. For the first 2 years, I had to nail up. I had to hand nail base shoe. God damn, and like underneath toe kicks and other shit, and you'd hit it and it bounced back. It wouldn't go anywhere. And
I covered everything in plastic. I took precautionary measures. I taped everything, but I was so fucking cheap. I probably still have some of that plastic back from 1987 somewhere in the garage.
Yeah,
I saved everything. I'd reuse it.
What I'm telling you, like in all these videos and shit, and I tell the stupid ass stories about working for the dude who never left his fucking house, and he's like, "Well, dude, you don't have a business. You got a fucking job," and like that hit like getting kicked in the nuts. But it was true because everybody I worked for, except for the one dude who did the Dave Graves, who does everything, but who had all the maintenance and all that stuff. But he made a shitload of money. He kept 6 crews busy. But I had always in my head, I thought the only reason he's successful like that is because his dad did it and his granddad did it and yada, yada. You're always making up excuses why other people can be successful but you can't. Right. And then I'd see some other people. I'd say, oh, well, they're successful because they went to college, because I worked for this dude named Kerry Conley, American Hardwood Floors. And he had a master's degree from Chicago and then moved out here because that's where he wanted to live. And he looked at a whole bunch of different businesses and industries and decided to do hardwood floor. And that didn't make no sense to me. He didn't know shit about hardwood floors. He knew how to hire guys like me and everybody else. But then I had that excuse. Well, he's got a master's in business. He does all this other shit. But then when I talked to this other guy, he was like, dude, it's this, and this. Go read this book. Go do that. I'm like, fuck, I can't read. Get cassette tapes. But because at that point is when I fucking had enough, working 80 hours going. I knew I was better off working for either the dude Dave Graves or Kerry or something, because I could clock out at the end of the day. I didn't have to fucking rush home, hit the recorder, and see who called. If it wasn't too late, I could call them back. So, it was like, my God, man, something's got to fucking change. I'm not going to do this for the next fucking 40 years. This is nuts. But every little bitty thing led to the next little bitty thing, to where now it's and that's why I said it's frustrating as hell when I talk to some of these construction guys. I'm like, dude, you don't have to keep living like that. You do have to make some fucking changes, but it'll work out. And they think like Tommy Mello is an extreme case, but I'm like, all right, just do 10% of what the fuck he did. Okay, you don't need the billion. See, make the 100 million.
You're preaching to some of the most miserable son of a bitches on the earth, though. I see you go every time I see you post something. I just sort of sit back and get some popcorn because I know it's coming. You can't even go. I mean, not just you, but I mean, nobody can even go in some of these wood floor guy groups. Same thing with some of the carpet groups. You can't even go in and say good morning without somebody. Fucking what's good about it? I want to say, motherfucker, is your life so bad that you can't even enjoy 5 minutes on the computer without bitching and moaning?
In the last 2 weeks, I've asked pretty good business questions, and I think I put before it for business owners only, and then I put the question, and it just pisses all of them off. Like maybe 2 or 3 of them answer because they are legitimate wannabe business guys. Mm-hmm. But the majority of them are pissed off going, oh, you just trying to make money off of somebody else. Yeah, dumb motherfucker. You should be trying to do that also. You're not doing this at 80.
Yeah, I don't think you realize it, but one of the people here that paid the most attention to you, now he probably won't, I don't know how much you guys talk, but Gabe Pena, he does basically what you said. He's hired people. So all he does anymore is he'll go out and do the estimates. He doesn't have anybody yet to do that yet, but almost everything that you teach, he put into motion.
Yeah, and he's one of the dudes that I think I don't know if I blocked him or not, but I haven't responded to anything, because out of the blue.
I remember that mess.
Yeah, he just cut everything off. Like, hey, just cancel this. I'm like, dude, what the fuck's going on? And he went and talked to me. I was like, you fucking carpet head retard motherfucker.
Yeah.
And that's like, because I'm going to do this thing at the end of March, and I swore I would never do it, and I'm going to do it. I'm just going to do it this one time where I give away all of my manuals, because there, I mean, it's fucking 40 years of putting that shit together, and I don't want stupid motherfuckers like him, getting it, and then making $1 million and turn around selling it to other fucking people. So I'm only going to let
need to put that stuff on TikTok and YouTube.
Yeah,
I showed you my daughter does and sell that shit. Sell it. Don't try to get 1,000 or 10,000. Put it on there for $179 and sell it to 1 million people.
Yeah.
Hey, Charlie and Brian. Yeah, I mean, I don't know if you saw that Gary V interview like January. He was in, I think he was in Mexico or somewhere. But that's what he said. He's like, man, he's like, the next shit is selling things on live, right? Like on TikTok, whatever their live is, whatever that shit is. But it's like it like Charlie said, man. Yeah. Sell it to 1 million people, not 10 or 5 retarded contractors.
Right. You know what? Here's the thing, Brian. You don't even have to talk to them unless they want to pay to come to your group and talk to you there.
Yeah,
so, and then selling the information. That's what my daughter does. She sells one packet, the cheapo. I think she sells it for $40, and there's another one for $60. And her biggest one, it's the one I sent you. She sells that son of a bitch for $79, and she'll sell 6-7 of those a day.
Yeah, keep talking.
One of the same videos just redoes it. What's that?
Yeah, keep talking. I'm gonna run grab the the manuals and coffee.
Okay, but that's exactly Doug. That's all she does. She'll take the same video and just sort of change the words a little bit, and it's just of her doing whatever she's doing with Amazon reviews and all that. She sells the shit out of that.
Huh. And I know you same thing with you, like with the maintenance, man. That's because I mean, like firsthand, sanding floors is tough, man. I mean, maintenance coach isn't easy, but it's a whole hell of a lot easier than
right. But still, just cleaning. If you ever want to do it, I'll walk you through my stuff. I'm actually going to be doing videos, and I'll actually just shoot those to you when I'm done. You won't have to.
Yeah, I definitely want to get into the maintenance.
But I'm telling you, it's a whole lot easier.
And let me put them in order. Like, look, because here's like the owner's manual, which is everything, and only the owner really needs it. But the office manager, that's number 2, because the office manager, you guys heard me tell you, that's the first person you need to fucking hire. I mean, and these things are like step by step. And actually, right now, they're going to be a little bit better because we got these all printed out a couple of months ago, the sales manager thing. And this one I did.
Don't you have that in a format or something on your computer that you?
On my computer, but I don't have these on. I don't have these online anywhere because I was never going to give them out. And the 5 guys that I'm doing this with are only like Yuli, because I don't know, like that dude is like really hungry. Is like because he's got his wife and his kids, and he's like
really fucking dumb.
Yeah, and he just wants to make it like, and his wife is running shit.
He called me 34 times in one day. 30 fucking 4 times. He was on a job and he couldn't figure out. I said, Uli, it's just fucking wax. How are you messing this up?
But I don't know. I'll think about what you're saying because shit, I could do each of these for $200.
$79, $79, and then as a packet for $179 or something.
Maybe. Yeah. But like, but what I didn't want to do is like.
But don't ship them out until you get a couple thousand orders. Like shit.
No, make sure email them. Have it all. Email it.
Yeah, don't email.
It's all email. But I wouldn't. Why I'm doing this whole mastermind thing with like Ryan and you and then a couple other guys is because I don't want you to just fucking get me. I don't want to email it to you and then you never look it up and open it up. I want like the whole 6 week, 8 weeks mastermind thing is. You have to go through it the same way everybody here in the company goes through it, and make all the changes. Say, oh man, that's great, but it needs to be worded like this, or we do this, or we do it this way, and you need to change it so that it fits your company, and then you have to work it. You have to look like. So like I was saying, they've been going through these with like the yellow notes going, well, that's good, but we need to add this because we do this even more. We change this. So even with me doing it, they have to go through it 3 or 4 different times. And it's hard to go through on the computer and make all the changes because I don't know, it's just hard. But when you have it printed out and you start going through it and reading it and flipping through it, more shit comes to mind. And they're able to say, oh yeah, we need to do this. You didn't add this in, or you forgot about this,
and if you're selling it online, they can print it off.
Yeah, they have to print it out. Like
so they can print it off.
Yeah, for the mastermind. Yeah, for the mastermind, that's the goal. Is I email it to them, they print it out, and then they've got it in front of them, and all through the week they go through it and they highlight and they use the posted notes to how they need to change it to customize it to their company. But like you said, is like, fuck it, sell each of them for $79, whatever it is, to 1 million people. And if they don't use it, that's their fault.
If you could sell 100 a week.
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
what is it, Doug?
Yeah. No, I was going to say that, I mean, you just, like, you got to do some, you got to get those YouTube channels like $1,000 a day, to sell it like that. Because going into these groups, you're not going to sell anything in these groups because they're all fucking idiots.
Yeah.
They don't have any money anyway.
No, that's the problem. And that's what kills me.
Like Courtney, Courtney, say what you want about him, but I mean, his YouTube shit is.
No. When Charlie introduced me to Courtney, I think when I was driving to South Carolina to remodel that town, there's 2 townhomes that I bought. But he said, hey, you ever heard of this dude down in Georgia? And I was like, no, not a clue. And he told me about him, and I looked it up. And like you said, I went to his YouTube, and I said, well, shit, this dude's doing everything I've been telling people to do. Good for him. And then the first interaction we ever had was me arguing with him because he's got a couple of videos telling homeowners that engineered floors can't be refinished. And so
he says a lot of things that aren't true. But what it is, also, Courtney doesn't know. Courtney sort of learned on the fly. I have some respect for Courtney. I don't like him necessarily. He's a pompous ass. And that's something I don't like about people is that arrogant shit. Again, Don King Jr. is who he is. But the deal is he
walks the talk, man.
He knows how to promote Courtney. And he comes across, and I think he's sort of like this, really. He comes across as a good guy and genuine. Way much better. Boy, I would 6 minutes and I get pissed off at people.
Yeah.
He can sit there and listen to a bunch of shit. And he let all that shit in the groups. I sat there and watched him take over the Dust Life group.
Yeah.
Remember, I told you about Courtney long before we knew of before either of us saw him in any of the groups. I said, have you ever heard of this guy? Just because of what he was doing. Because I used to send my clients that needed wax removal done. And I said, I don't do it, but you need to find somebody that does it like this guy does. Courtney he does it his own way, but I think he's fucking up floors that he's not telling people about.
That's what what's the name? What's that guy? He's another pompous dude. Mike Samadian or some shit.
Samadian, yes.
Yeah. But him and oh my god, he hates.
He must have me blocked because I don't know that name.
You don't know about Samadian? He's got a pretty good setup. He's won Van of the Year or something before for his advertising on his van. It's very simple. Like his website is Refinish Georgia. Is that it, Doug? Something?
He's in Georgia. Yeah,
he's in Atlanta. RefinishAtlanta.com.
I've had a lot of guys reach out to me trying to figure out how to fix a floor that they screwed up trying to do screening coats, and I'm like, dude, it ain't fixable. It's got to be refinished. Can you refinish it? They don't.
That's what I don't like about the way Courtney he teaches. Or he tells these guys it's simple, but once you give him your money. Then he starts telling you about how fucking hard it is and how you can get in trouble. I think guys need to know about that before they spend the money.
Yeah, but like for guys like you and Doug, like again, any contractor, hardwood floor refinishing contractor that doesn't have a maintenance program is just is crazy. Right. Because if you call 5 fucking maintenance guys to come out and redo your hardwood floor, and 4 of them are carpet guys turned maintenance guys, and they call and talk to Doug. Doug was like, yeah, we do it all. We got refinish. You don't need it refinished, but if you do, I'm your guy in this. And don't let any of these carpet cleaning, zero res. You don't have to say anything. You can say, zero res, or what's the other one? Stanley Steamer. Yeah, don't let those guys come in and clean your hardwood floors or try to do a recoat or like one day refinishing. And there's a couple of them. Enhance. Like you can sell all of that shit because Doug is the real deal. If it needs to be sanded and finished, he can. If it needs to be stained and touched up, he can. If it needs to be screened and coated, he can. If he needs to do the wax removal, he can. And that's what I'm telling these hardwood floor guys going, and they're talking about, well, yeah, we don't do it. Like, how the fuck can you do refinish? How can you refinish hardwood floors and not know how to maintain a motherfucking hardwood floor?
Their famous line is, I just want to get my check and not ever go back. Well, that's how done you are.
That's just not a long-term vision.
It's not. Well, I'll tell you who took the ball and ran with it. It took my course. Is that Bobby Joe Denton, the one that's now buddy with what's his name? That dipshit. God damn it, what's his name?
You make me spell
you froze up for a minute. But Bobby Joe, she took it. She took every fucking thing I sent, because I send all this stuff to them after they take my course. It's basically written down how to do each and every step. She took that shit and put it in a book, and now she's selling that shit for $30 on her website.
Yeah, I mean, good. Look, man, and that was the one thing I didn't want people to be able to do with these things. That's why I'm like, I'm thinking about making them sign a motherfucking no compete.
Yeah, Brian, let them fucking sell it. Let them,
sue them motherfuckers.
You get your 180 and run to the bank.
You're right to the bank. Yeah.
And if here's the thing, my daughter has about 10 people that have copied her page and were pretending to be her and selling the shit that she sold them. They're selling it for $20 cheaper. But that's human nature.
Yeah.
The name of the game.
I thought you froze up, Brian.
No, I'm like, I don't know when this was. It's 3:47, and someone's asking me for a link to the fucking meeting that started at 3.
Who is this? We get them in here. We'll call him a dumbass.
You already have.
I have. Who is it? Oh, Uli.
Yeah.
I'm telling you. Man, he's.
Hey, let me back up a little bit, because Doug froze up and got kicked out when I was talking about back in the late 90s. I did Bill Phillips' Body for Life. Got me in the best shape I've probably ever been in, and that's after doing I've been doing martial arts since '82. But his whole thing, and now I took a lot of that and implemented it into my mental martial arts program. But even like my like the pre-plan project that I tell contractors to make, and then the post-plan projects, like when I tell contractors you should be doing 2 estimates, one for the homeowner, one for yourself. What do you think this is going to do? And write it down every day. Like, I'm going to get this much done. It's going to be this many hours. I'm going to spend this much boom, and plan out that job way in advance. And then at the end of the job, whether it's one day or a week, go back and look at it daily. Okay, Monday, I thought I was going to get this done. What got done? And then you write down what really got done. Tuesday, I thought we were going to do all of this, and I got this done. Because that's what that whole Body for Life program was you had to plan out, whether it was a week in advance or a month in advance, but you planned out exactly like, and I would sit down on a Sunday and I would do Monday to Sunday. This is what I'm going to eat all day Monday. This is what time I'm going to eat. Here's what I'm going to eat. This is the workout that I'm going to do. Treadmill on every other day. The weights would be upper body one day, lower body other days, and it would be, I would work out. I would write down the what type of working out we were going to do, whether it was bench or dumbbells, whatever it was. You wrote it down. You wrote down what the weight was going to be, and you wrote down how many reps you were going to do, how many sets, everything. You just wrote it down, and then that day, that morning after you finished, when you had it there because you knew what you were going to do. So on one side of the sheet of paper, it had what you were supposed to do, and then you tried to do it, and you either did it and it was hard and you wrote it down, or you didn't do it, it was too much, or it was too easy, but you tracked it. Everything was fucking tracked. And then the same thing with the eating, and it was the weight scale every morning. And I don't even know if that I'm sure Bill Phillips is still around, but I don't think he does the Body for Life competition anymore. But that's what Alex did with Alex Hermosa with his gym membership. he would put people on a 3-month program to get them, and you could, and the memberships were free if you did his program and lost weight and all this other shit. But it was kind of like that. But that shit, man, I'm telling you, anyone that does that and gives themselves a year to get in the best shape of their life, and then breaks it down into quarters, 3 months, 3 months, 3 months. I don't think anything changes a person more than that. It's mind-boggling because of the discipline you have to do it. And then when you see results within the first month, you get addicted to it, and then life hits you later on. But and that's when you start, putting that shit into aspects of your, in other areas of your life, whether it's relationship or business or, whatever it is.
Yeah, see, I couldn't do that now.
No, the older you get, the older it's fucked up, because the older you get, the more you need it, and the harder it is. It is, man.
I like to surprise myself with what I'm going to eat. I never fucking know until I get hungry. And
like right now, like
there's some peanut butter.
Yeah, like until the end of March. So April the 1st, I'll be finished. But until the end of March, I'm real strict carnivore. Nothing but fucking meat. Nothing but meat. Like I went like right before this, I got online. I went into town and met the family at a fucking pizza place, and all I had was a couple of Italian sausage, and they're sitting there with fucking beautiful looking pizza, fresh handmade dough, and all this other shit. I was like, God damn, I gotta get out of here.
Have them make you a no bread pizza. They'll just put it like in a bowl. They'll do the sauce.
Yeah, because my brother-in-law got a all meat pizza, and I was like, shit, I can eat all those toppings, the cheese and all that meat. Like when I go to In-N-Out or wherever I get, at In-N-Out they call it a Flying Dutchman. It's just 2 hamburger patties and 2 pieces of cheese. Yep. And I'll get like 2 of those. I didn't even know they had a fucking name for it. But yeah, so I'm like real just until the end of March, and then I'll reevaluate it. But you've got to set. I don't know. You've got to discipline yourself somehow. I just finished this book, fucking 34 hours, called The Frontiersman, and it's a great fucking history book. And some of the characters I already knew, but some I just learned about. And what really struck me the most was like the whole thing is based on this dude, Simon Kenton. And at one time he was Simon Butler because he was trying to hide his identity because he thought he killed someone. But I mean, but he's him and Daniel Boone. Daniel Boone was about 15, maybe 20 years older than him. But they're the ones who went into Kentucky and fought the Shawnee Indians and all this other shit. They opened up the frontier. But all of these characters,
there's a movie about that.
Is there? Yeah, but all these characters, even one of the Indian chiefs lived to be 105. Simon Kenton lived to be 84. I think Daniel Boone was either 77 or 79. A bunch of them they all died in their fucking 80s. And that was way back then when there's no fucking out in the middle of nowhere. They may have lived long enough because they weren't around hospitals and doctors.
Well, no, and the food was better. Well, I hate to say it was better. You didn't have as much junk to eat.
Yeah, yeah, but it's and I only read it. Listen, I bought that book because of fucking Mel Gibson and was talking about it on.
Charlie, is that me or is that Brian?
I'm good.
Both of y'all look good. We all we can see is your silhouette now, though.
Yeah, because you must be outside where it's dark.
I'm out.
There we go.
Yeah, I'm outside.
So
yep, actually the sky looks great behind you there.
Yeah,
nice and blue.
Shit, look, here you go.
Yeah.
I rub it in.
This guy's always bragging, man.
Yeah. He knows that's what I love right there.
Hey, look, I'll show you
I'm gonna show up one day with my bags, man.
Yeah, I wish you would, brother. Hey, because when we were down there at the pizza thing, because I was out here working on this little hiking trail that I've got. I think both of you guys have seen pictures and videos when I'm up there on it, but I was cutting down more shit, but I didn't have my shirt on for a while. And my wife is like, it must be nice to be able to walk around without no shirt. And I said, no shirt. I said, you guys have no clue. When y'all ain't here, I don't wear any fucking clothes. And they're like, we know, we find them all over the place. Look, which is funny because look, there they are. That's the only
And I would build me an outside office there with nothing but glass windows.
That's what I'm thinking. Well, we have this big platform where they used to have a big yurt because they had a whole bunch of shit going on, renting different areas. And I want to get another yurt or some kind of outdoor tent, but that's like plastic, clear, see-through or something. And just so I can sleep out there and just stare up at the stars without, any bugs or anything messing with you.
That sounds like heaven to me.
All right, guys,
Yes,
I'm gonna get out of
sir.
here.
Yes,
I'm gonna
sir.
cook a steak. I'll bug y'all later. Thanks for being here, brother.
See you,
Thank
Brian.
you, guys.
Bye.